Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Healing and Growth. And if you're new here, I'm so glad you found your way to this space. Today, I want to talk about faith. Not the kind of faith we talk about when everything is going well, but the kind we need when life feels uncertain, quiet, or even painful. Because let's be honest, faith is easy when prayers are answered quickly. Faith is easy when doors are opening and everything makes sense. But real faith, the kind that grows you, stretches you, and changes you, is built in the waiting. It's built in the confusion. It's built in those moments when God feels silent. Faith is trusting God even when you don't understand the process. There are seasons in life when you feel like you're doing everything right. You pray, you believe, you show up, and yet things still don't happen the way you expected. And that's usually when doubt starts creeping in. You start asking questions like, God, did I hear you wrong? Why is this taking so long? Why does it seem easier for everyone else? Am I being punished? But I want to remind you of something today. Delay is not denial. Silence does not mean absence. And struggle does not mean God has left you. The Bible reminds us in Isaiah 55:8-9, that God's ways are higher than ours, and His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. That means there are things He sees that we don't. Sometimes God isn't changing your situation yet, because He's changing you. Faith isn't about having all the answers. Faith is about trusting the one who does. There are moments when God allows us to walk through discomfort, not to break us, but to strengthen us. Not to confuse us, but to deepen our dependence on Him. Not to push us away, but to draw us closer. Some of the most powerful growth happens in the unseen seasons. The Bible says in Hebrews 11:1, "Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." That tells us faith requires trust before proof, belief before results, obedience before understanding. And let's be real, that's not easy. There are days when faith feels heavy, days when you're tired of being strong, tired of waiting, tired of believing for something that still hasn't happened. If that's you today, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not weak. You are human. God is not disappointed in your questions. He is not offended by your tears, and He is not distant from your pain. Psalm 34:18 tells us that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. That means God meets us right where we are, not where we pretend to be. Faith doesn't mean pretending everything is okay. Faith means bringing your whole heart to God, your fears, your doubts, your frustration, and still choosing to trust Him. Sometimes faith sounds like, God, I don't understand this, but I trust you. God, this hurts, but I believe you're still good. God, I'm scared, but I know you're with me. And that kind of faith takes courage. Faith requires surrender. It means letting go of control. It means accepting that God's timing is not our timing. Proverbs 3:5-6 reminds us to trust in the Lord with all our heart and not lean on our own understanding. And when we do, He will direct our paths. We often want God to show us the whole plan, but most of the time, He gives us just enough light for the next step. Why? Because faith grows when we walk, not when we see. Some of you are in a season where God is asking you to trust Him without reassurance, without confirmation, without guarantees. And yes, that's uncomfortable, but it's also sacred. Because when you learn to trust God in the unknown, your faith becomes unshakable. Let me say this clearly. Your faith does not have to be perfect to be powerful. Jesus said in Matthew 17:20 that even faith the size of a mustard seed can move mountains. That means small faith still counts. Shaky faith still counts. Faith mixed with fear still counts. God isn't looking for perfection. He's looking for your heart. And sometimes the greatest act of faith is simply not giving up. Not giving up on God. Not giving up on yourself. Not giving up on the vision He placed inside you. If you're waiting on healing, keep believing. If you're waiting on clarity, keep trusting. If you're waiting on breakthrough, keep praying. Because God is always working even when you can't see it. He works behind the scenes. He works through delays. He works through closed doors. He works through seasons that don't make sense. And one day, you'll look back and realize that what felt like a setback was actually preparation. What felt like rejection was protection. What felt like silence was God teaching you how to listen differently. Faith changes you before it changes your circumstances. It teaches patience, it teaches humility, it teaches resilience, and it reminds you that your strength doesn't come from you, it comes from God. Isaiah 40:31 tells us that those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. So today, I want to encourage you, hold on. Hold on to hope. Hold on to faith. Hold on to the belief that God is still writing your story. You may not see it yet, but God is working. You may not feel it yet, but God is present. You may not understand it yet, but God is faithful. And if all you can do today is whisper a prayer, that's enough. If all you can do today is take one small step forward, that's enough. If all you can do today is trust God with your tears, that's enough.